The year was 2006, and Toronto became privy to what has since been called mighty cool, wonderful, adrenaline dripping, a must-see event. The Toronto After Dark Film Festival was born. The festival showcased the best sci-fi, horror, and fantasy films not yet seen by Toronto audiences. In 2007, the festival returned, bringing genre film fans more of what they desired most. And it continued, year after year, supplying genre film fans with some of the greatest Canadian and international horror, sci-fi, action, and cult movies available. But 2011 saw something different. Along with the standard films, audiences were also treated to the diaper rating. But where did this diaper rating come from? What did it mean? Many speculated, perhaps it was a rating of how shitty the movies were. Perhaps it was the opposite and just rated how good a movie was, man. We figure it's a combination of the two. The diaper rating indicated how many diapers you were going to fill with your own filth. That's right, how many times would you shit your pants due to the thrills, chills, and spills on screen? This is Toronto After Dark 2011.
Where we, as the only film festival in the world that gives a discount to the undead, host 2 fantastic new zombie-themed movies every year. We're really excited. I'm very excited to welcome you here for the world premiere of War of the Dead. A couple of quick announcements before we get into the movies. Some of the next films playing at the festival you should check out tomorrow. A very cool, dark, gory, but very funny black comedies. Some Guy Who Kills People, starring Kevin Corrigan, Karen Black, and Barry Bostwick, which you might know from Rocky Horror Picture Show. We got an awesome film tomorrow. That's at 1:30 p.m. Some Guy Who Kills People. Check that out. And another film I think you guys would be particularly interested in is a similar undead theme, shall we say, or in the broader sense of undead, a very cool, dark, vampire, dramatic thriller, Midnight Sun. We have the filmmakers of the audience for that as well. Give them a round of applause. And we really, all of us who see Midnight Sun have just totally fallen in love with this cool, dark film. It's very edgy, it is not Twilight, and it's very realistic. It feels like a film that follows a young guy going through the process of becoming a vampire and how it shakes up his life, his love life, his night job, his day job, and it's very, very cool. You should check out Midnight Sun. It's one of the true indie gems of Toronto After Dark Film Festival, tomorrow night, 9:45 p.m. I want to thank our supporters and sponsors. Please give it up for Anchor Bay Entertainment, Rumor, and Space. And I told them this tonight, the Toronto Zombie Walk. Give it up for those wonderful people too. And all you zombies who were here earlier or here tonight who bought zombie price tickets particularly, we are donating $1 of the ticket price back to the Toronto Zombie Walk to help pay for those fees they have, keep them going. So that's our contribution. And also please give it up for our wonderful volunteers and our venue, the Toronto Underground Cinema. Thank you guys. Okay, we have a very cool opening short film. And it's not technically a zombie movie, but it does have undead themes. So to introduce this film and tell you why you should still be interested in it, please give it up for the filmmaker Alec Epstein to introduce You Are So Undead. Cheers.
Basically a 5-minute movie about a bunch of girls in a nightclub bathroom, some of whom no longer reflect because they've gone all the way with their boyfriends. Funny thing about the movie, actually, the mirror effect was so good that when we were cutting it, we realized that it takes a while for you to realize that they're not actually reflecting. And you're like, oh my god, we didn't make it obvious enough. So, but you guys, you will get it.
Cheers, Ali. Thank you for bringing your film here to us. Enjoy the crowd. Excuse me, you're someone next. You play a lot of film festivals around the world, prestige festivals, but not a genre festival. So this will be the first time a real hardcore crowd will get to see his little vampire film. I think you'll enjoy it. Our feature film tonight, what can I say about this war action epic? I think it's a hard film for me to introduce because there's someone on our team who has been tracking it for 3 years. Our newest addition to the programming team has just been so passionate about it. He's been selling us on it. It appeared on a bunch of websites about 5 years ago, and then it disappeared. You know, what happened to, you know, War of the Dead? And we were wondering about it, but the person who was championing it kept saying, I can get this film for our festival. I can bring us the world premiere. We will have it. Please give it up for the newest member of our programming team to introduce War of the Dead. Christian Burgess, come on. Thank you, why you're so passionate for 2 more years for this movie.
Well, I'm a big sucker for World War II films. Like, I grew up on things like Guns Navarone, The Great Escape, and The Dirty Dozen. Woo! So then when you combine my sort of love and obsession for zombie films, you know, a Nazi zombie film. You know, I'm also a Call of Duty Black Ops zombie kind of guy, so that helps too. My friends usually play with me, but they're not here tonight. But this is just something that kind of stuck with me the last 3 years. It sort of disappeared offline and reappeared, and I just been championing it. I just love this film. It's something about World War II. Nazi zombies are at it again. You know, it's supernatural elements. But I'm just thrilled that we have the world premiere of War of the Dead here with you guys. And I have the director here. So let me introduce. He's coming all the way from Germany tonight to be here. Director Marko. So Marko, this is your... Hey, Dad. So Marko, this is your first world premiere. Say hello.
Hey everybody. I still can't believe this because this movie's been a fucking nightmare. I shot it 2007 and here we are now as a world premiere and I still can't believe I peed my pants twice. Feeling wet is pretty cool. But no, what can I say? I truly hope you guys enjoy it and yeah. Pretty much. Let's talk afterwards.
Please don't forget to vote for the Audience Award. It's very important to us as a festival as well as the filmmaker. This film has a personal bias of the dead. I would really appreciate if you turn on all phones, cell phones. Amy Cook's in the audience, so she's like my new movie buddy, and she knows how much I detest that stuff. So I really appreciate you turning off anything electronic. But and we'll be back after the short, after the feature, and we'll do a Q&A. But thank you very much. Enjoy War of the Dead.
Do you believe in the devil, Captain? I do now.
Give it up for the world premiere of War of the Dead. I'd like to call up Mr. Marko to come up again, please. what'd you think, guys?
Awesome!
You're the first audience to see it anywhere. Thank you very much for
Yeah, hopefully not the last one either. So.
I will start off with a bit of Q&A. Marko, I know personally it's been a hell of a journey for this film. Maybe talk about how it sort of began.
Yeah, well, this was a low budget, let's shoot it fast and live the dream kind of movie, which we first originally shot in 2006 in Lithuania with a completely different, almost different cast and in a snow environment. And then a week into production, the producers ran out of money, so everybody went home. 1 year later, I came back and we shot this version, and this time fully. So that was very nice. And then we started cutting it, everything was good, and once we finished editing and started working on the visual effects and everything, the producers ran out of money. So then, then we put the movie for 3 years in the shelf, and until they finally decided that maybe we should finish this shit. And so that's basically what happened. And we fast finished it up, did the sound work, and mixed it in 5 days fast, and everything fast, and well, yeah, and here it is.
One of the things I really like is you shot it in Lithuania. I believe it's the most expensive film ever shot there.
Well, Lithuania film industry is not the biggest in the world. So, yeah, I don't know, I cannot say anything about that, but yeah, if somebody likes to say it, cool.
We have one of the crew here and one of your cast here.
Yes, we have here Jouko Ahola, who played this big zombie guy. So I would like to ask him to join me here in this humiliation. And then I have here the DOP, the cinematographer of the film, Hannu-Pekka Vitikainen, the Finnish harbor boy.
So we'll ask, it's been a long journey for you guys as well. Maybe talk about a little bit how you got involved with the film.
Yes, let's start with HP.
Well, as Marko said, it's been a long process, and I think we actually started in 2005. We made the first kind of a test reel with about almost the same crew as you see here, and so it's been a long run.
I forgot to mention, just to make this show completely ridiculous, we back in year 2005 we shot this kind of 2 minutes teaser to show to the first investor, which was a buyer, Scanbox Entertainment from Scandinavia, who was ridiculous enough to buy all this for 250,000 euros. So before, the script wasn't fully ready, and it was more like I said that I have this crazy idea, and they said, okay, show how it looks like. So we did a 2-minute test reel, and they said fine. And then we had another problem, which is trying to get more money. So, it's a long journey, and I'm very happy that it was premiered here today, and it's very nerve-wracking for me. It's like, whatever.
And I met Marko, I think it was 2006 or 2005. He saw me on Ridley Scott film, and then probably he thought that it might be a good film for me. So I'm very, very happy that he took me, and he made great scenes for me. Thank you, Marko.
That's Kingdom of Heaven. Kingdom of Heaven.
Kingdom of Heaven, yes, Ridley Scott's Kingdom of Heaven. He taught Orlando Bloom, that sucker, how to use a sword. That was off screen.
Before I open up to the audience, in your special thanks, you have James Van Der Beek.
Yeah, because, okay, just to make it a little bit longer. Yeah, James Van Der Beek was originally cast to play Captain Stone. So James was involved for a while, and of course, because things didn't move forward as smoothly as everybody expected, he went on to do with Bryan Singer a TV pilot, and we ended up with Corey Nemec, another guy whom I fired after first week of shooting. And in one day warning, Andrew Kiernan, who we see in the movie, came and we finished the movie with him. So, yeah, simple.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, sir.
You have only one woman in the entire cast, Magdalena. Can you tell us something about the lovely Magdalena?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those, you know, it's a very man thing to be in a war movie, so I wanted to, it's as cliche as it is, to add a woman there, and how cliche as it is, it turns out to be one of ex-girlfriends of one of the characters, woohoo. And then, and she was there in a limited time because of the schedule, so we didn't, you know, she was nice, she was from Poland, she was beautiful, wonderful to work with, and afterwards I thought, why the fuck didn't I write something better for her? But you know, it's one of those things.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
Can you talk a little bit about your experience before making this movie? Did you go to film school, or what's your background?
No, I didn't get into any film schools, they said no. So I decided to start myself. You know, the cliche way of making home video movies and as a kid and so on anyways, and then I started making documentaries, making of, and music videos and commercials and so on, but of course, you know, constantly just focusing on making a movie. But it's very hard coming from Finland and trying to make a movie because there's a system which is that you get government funding to make a movie, otherwise you don't make the movie. And I said, fuck you all, I'll make a movie. And there was also, because you don't make any type of genre movies, now they are, but back then no, especially the zombie style. Thank you. And maybe it was for you. So it was a huge battle also against the Finnish system, just to try to convince everybody that this definitely a Nazi zombie movie should be made. And I, who hasn't studied one fucking moment in school, should direct it.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
How much of it was locations, and how much of it was sets you had to build?
We built everything that is in the movie was built basically. Every, you know, it was half basically, interiors, exteriors. So, but everything was built. Every single fucking door was built, and that's a great thing about Lithuania because you know it's not that expensive to make all this stuff, and you know the people are great. You say that you want a house, okay. Very good. Can I have bigger?
Cheap labor.
2 weeks, give me 2 weeks. So that's the, you know, that's a good thing. And Lithuania was a great as a location because we were, you know, of course, as a first-time filmmakers, it was for him as a first time, as a start. Yeah, start. Okay, so you know, then you know, for all of us, it was very good that we had this kind of like Lithuanian film studios, that they had stages, they had everything, and the wonderful people there, and you know, who were very supportive and nobody doubted us in any, at least as far as I know. And yeah, it's one of those. In many ways, it was very lucky, and it was very fucking hard. The shooting was fun, but you know, everything else, Jesus fucking Christ. You know, it's just, you know, I love it, but it you know, kills it.
I think you aged.
You know, the great thing about it, you know, I started in 2005 when I finished the script, and I had 2 kids, almost divorced, and then, you know, then I finished the movie. Yeehaw! Yeah, so, you know.
I wanted to ask about the score. You actually got Jerry Goldsmith's son.
Yes, Joe. And which was also very nice because one of the producers, of course, Joe was a friend, and Joe, for whatever reason, liked my take on this thing and wanted to score it. And what happened, that he actually finished half of the score, and then, you know, we didn't make the movie no more. And then years later, Joe was of course very busy, so Neil, his right hand, came along and finished the score, basically with Joe's supervision, so I would say 50-50.
Great. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
If
me asking?
I do.
I'm ask it anyway. How much did it cost you to make this movie?
Well, that's a question which I cannot even answer. I don't know, because this movie has such a fucking ridiculous story that I'm sure if it adds up, it's like, but I would say logical, I would say 1 million euros.
That's a lot of euros.
Yeah, I know, I mean, that's also a ridiculous thing, you know. It's like I can play a little soldier games in somebody's backyard and somebody fucking gives me $1 million to do it. Go to film school.
If you actually go on YouTube, you can see, I think the first week of shooting, like, you had a different lead for Captain Stone.
Yeah, Corey Emmett, completely fucking weirdo.
Because the original title of the film was Stone's War.
Yeah, well, it was War of the Dead originally, but of course, because we have to make things really complicated, then when James Van Der Beek came along, then it was changed to Stone's War because of his character, Captain Stone. You know, it's not the agents were like, yes. So that was really good. But when James was no more, and the title stayed, and I was one day sitting in Stanley's office, and he asked me, why is the movie not called War of the Dead anymore? And I said, yeah, right. And he said, that's a better title. I said, yeah, right. So now it's War of the Dead.
Great title. I think we have time for about 2 more questions. Yes.
Do you plan on putting anything else in the production suit?
Sorry, come again?
Do you have any other plans for productions for another film?
Yeah, I just shot a movie in Bulgaria, which was interesting, with Adrian Paul starring the Mr. Highlander. And it's a wonderful sci-fi channel movie, which everybody will love to see when it comes out next year.
It's called Deadly Descent.
Deadly Descent, yes. I shot it this year for Sci-Fi and Universal.
So, in terms of where the story leads off, is there a possibility of a sequel?
Well, in my little brains, of course, I was thinking that, wouldn't it be cool to make a trilogy? And, just finish the fucking movie first.
I want more.
But of course, I kept it open, just, that if whatever reason there's some kind of person who says, yeah, I want to see more, and the buyers and everybody says, yeah, somebody said that we want to see more, then maybe they give me like fucking 1,000 euros to do it, and then I'll do it. But I have a grand plan, of course. It's like all of them.
Who wants the last question? Zombie has a question.
Why did you decide to premiere here in Toronto?
Because it was because of him, and thank you for that.
Adam has ultimate decision over programming, but I've been bugging Adam for this film for 2 years. It wasn't ready last year, and then this year, I'm like, oh, let's contact Marko again and see what's going on with the film.
He was ready finally, yes. Miracles do happen.
Yeah, I'm thrilled it's here. I think our audience is the best audience for this type of film.
I mean, that's the scary thing, you guys sitting there, and I know that, my dad pretty much has seen this movie, and you're doing great, son. So, that's a tough one. The show actually to an audience and say like, fuck, that's a different ballgame, I think I could.
So there you go. So thank you very much for coming out. World premiere. Please blog and tweet on Facebook. Anybody is going to the book room afterwards, Marko and our guests will be
You keep my ass down.
We go drink.
Are they
No. I have one announcement. Somebody lost their wallet